Hey everybody, and I'm for Spirit Metal, and we're here in Hollywood, California with Shaun from Broken Hope.
Hi.
How's your Thursday going on so far?
It's good. Third day on the tour, the Best in Brutality North American tour, and I think we're finally starting to feel like we're back in the States. We just were in Europe for a month and had a few weeks off at home with family, and now we're back into the chaos, tornado, hellstorm as we call it, right? So back into the system. So.
Actually, I was going to ask that. You guys were just in Europe like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your first European tour after the comeback?
Correct. We did some festivals, and before the album came out, I think it was right before Omen was released, we did a couple festivals in Europe, and then we did a show in France, and then in the southern part of France. And then this was the first official full European run for Omen of Disease. We did it with Immolation.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Okay, it was good.
Amazing. And we lived with them, we shared a bus. So we traveled together for a month and lived, and me, Ross, and Bob have a massive common love for chocolate. So, especially in the Netherlands where it's amazing, we were like all about like Chocomel. And we bonded over stuff, and like it was weird. Like we all knew each other kind of, especially Jeremy and I. We knew Ross and Bob from back in the day, but this was the first time we really toured together. Okay. So
you're here now. Last time you were here in California, you were as a support act, and now you're headlining this tour.
Correct.
So is headlining a tour more fun or more work?
It's a little bit of both, because you get your way, I guess they say, and you also have to be you're kind of in charge, but also you kind of, a lot relies upon you. Granted, it's called a co-headliner with Oceano, but tonight we play last. But it is different, especially for performance-wise. You have to play a longer set, so we're trying to play a good balance of the new album as well as the classics from all the old stuff to make the diehard fans happy. But also, we're seeing a lot of young kids now, so they really know the new album mostly.
Oh, nice.
But there were some cool kids last night. We played Pomona, and there were some dudes there that had like really obscure retro Broken Hope shirts, and they probably weren't born when that shirt was made. So it's cool, but they respect and they do their homework and they like the stuff. So hey.
And since the comeback, I have the impression you guys have toured a whole lot. Was that part of the plan? Did you actually thought, oh, we're coming back and we want to tour all the time, or did this just happen?
I guess the demand was there. We didn't want to force anything. You don't want to be like, you have to take our band on tour. We're back, everybody. But at the same time, it's like, no, we wanted to, do it properly, and we felt that it was smart for us to do certain tours and reestablish and rebrand the rebirth of Broken Hope per se, and do it proper. And I think that right now we've done enough, and when this tour is complete, we've done enough coverage on this album to sit back and chill a little bit, and hopefully be in a comfortable state that everyone knows we're back. But yeah, I mean, we still have a lot of groundwork. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of young kids that don't know us, and we want them to know us. I mean, they listen to so many different, subgenres of metal that, we hope that they're gonna dig what we're doing. So.
Okay, and then we talked about all these tours, and one of the past tours, there was everybody got to know there was some friction between some of the bands in the tour.
One band.
Okay, one band.
Okay.
So I'm not going into details, but is this something that happens often? Is it hard to be touring with bands or people you've never met before? Is it common to have some friction like that?
Not usually. We usually get along great with everyone, and actually, after that whole scenario, everything's been put to bed. We're friends. We talk, and the person in that band texts me. We rip on each other and joke around. So there's a good camaraderie. But for the most part, we really do have a good bonding with a lot of bands we tour with, and we like to have a good brotherly tour vibe. But with that whole situation, it just escalated, and I just felt that what went down sucked, and it happened, and there was just escalations of tension. Yeah. And the night everything went down in Texas, there was just a bad aura, man. There was just, a kid got hurt that night. Me and obvious person named Glenn had an argument that night. You know, a lover's spat. And then, you know, over some equipment. And then everything got worked out. And, you know, words were exchanged and it was hostile. And, you know, one thing I will say is also, like, you know, we're grown men. You know, we're all grown men and we need to get over the stupid little things that really don't matter. Because it is just music. It's art, you know. So you don't want to, you know, threaten someone's life or talk, you know, bad of their personal life over music. It's stupid. So yeah, we've all moved on and everything's cool, but you know, it sucks. We only missed 2 gigs, so we did basically the whole tour. We missed 2 shows. It sucks for the fans, though. That's what, you know, to be brutally honest, that's what sucks. I mean, we felt bad for missing those 2 gigs because fans were butt sore. You know that. Oh man, we're not, you know, I bought tickets to come see you guys and them, and it happens, but we'll make it up and everything. You know, there's even talk of, we've actually talked about touring together. I don't know if it'll ever happen or if it should ever happen. But we've joked around about it. We've had some offers for Europe together, but we'll see. Right now, I'm just focused on this tour.
Okay, and talk about you since the hiatus time. You guys were not playing for like 10 years.
Something like that.
10 years, yeah. So what did you miss the most?
I was still playing music in other bands. I was busy, you know. I formed Soil and was playing, you know, and did a lot of cool things with Soil, and it was a good career for me for a while, and that just went south. And then I had a band called Dirge Within, so that was cool, and it was a really good melodic metal rock type band, but that was cool. But to get back to the reformation, rebirth per se, it was just, we felt like, you know, we kept hearing people really wanted it, and it was the fans, you know. We kept hearing the fans say, man, we'd love Broken Hope to come back, and, you know, and then we had, obviously, the untimely death of our singer, and so when Joe passed away, we were already rehearsing with this drummer Mike. Me and Jeremy were starting to get him up to speed on the old catalog, and so once we started jamming, we were like, man, it feels good, but man, you know, can we do this without Joe? You know, and then we just started looking at singers, and me and Jeremy were watching some footage on YouTube of Damien, and we were like, you know, this guy really, we thought he lived in Illinois first because Gorgasm technically was a Chicago-based band. So then we were like, wow, this guy, man, you know, he must live in Chicago, and he's brutal, and Gorgasm are from, you know, the same, you know, subgenre, extreme brutal gore death, and we were like, wow. And then he learned some songs. We told him what songs to try to audition, basically, and jam with us. We were like, wow, this feels really good.
Nice.
You know? And it felt right, and we were like, okay, let's do this. And then all of a sudden, we got a booking agency calling us going, in 2 months, do you think you guys could do this tour with Obituary? We're like, yeah, we're ready. Sure. Let's go. Fuck yeah. But no, and then we had to like really start rehearsing. And then we brought Chuck, who was in Dirge Within with me, on lead guitar, because I was like, well, I'll play bass because that's what I always did in Broken Hope, even though I'm more like, you know, I play guitar a lot too. But I was like, let's keep it traditional, I'll play bass, but we need a lead guitarist because the original lead guitarist was too busy. He works for Lamb of God. So the original Broken Hope lead guitarist, Brian, was busy touring with Lamb of God as their sound man. And he, you know, we're like, can't really afford to take him away from that in many ways. And so I'm like, dude, Chuck's killer, he's young, and he likes death metal, and he could definitely play the parts. So, you know, we started woodshedding, gave him a list of songs, and we rehearsed for like 2 months solid before the OB tour. And off we went. And then all of a sudden, Century Media Records was at the show in LA.
Oh, nice.
And then they were like, you guys want to make a record? We're like, I guess. We haven't written a new song in forever, you know. So, and then just everything kind of like fell into play. You know, so.
And last year you released a new record, Omen of Disease. And sorry.
I work with you now.
Okay. Yes. See. For this record, when you went to write the record, and was it something that you brought from those 10 years that you had like archived somewhere, or is this all new?
To be honest, all the material that I contributed, you know, all the songs I wrote were brand new. Jeremy did have some rough skeletons of songs redefined and fixed up. So he did that, and we hashed out some stuff. But for the most part, it's really all new material. There's a couple songs that he had riffs for, and actually, the first video and single, the song "The Flesh Mechanic," was actually gonna be the title of the album that they were gonna release before Joe passed away. They had material working on, and then after that, they scrapped all that. But we ended up keeping the song title, "The Flesh Mechanic," and made it a whole new song, which is one of the songs that I musically contributed to the album. So it's really not an old song, but the title was around. So the idea and the concept of the song was somewhat old, but the actual music and lyrics weren't. So yeah, and, for the most part, the album is really relative new material.
Okay, so talk about the future now. So you guys released the album, and you said you're touring a lot. Any plans for anything else besides touring this year?
We have some festivals in Europe, I think in August, and then we'll probably, chill out a little bit and come off this tour and spend time with family. And chill and start working on new material. And I don't want to force the next album. I think that bands that rush it just to get a tour, or hey man, we got this huge opportunity, but we got to write a new album in 8 weeks, and it's like, what are you going to really write? 2 good songs out of 12? And I don't think that's smart business, because as much as nowadays albums are not really sold, nobody buys them. I think that they still are a very important part of a band's stable as a brand, and it's what the audience and the listener really enjoys and why they're there to come to the gig. But I think that it's important to make sure that the album is as strong as it can be and lives on. I really think that as long as you put out 30 to 40 minutes of killer modern new music to the fan and the audience every few years, you'll be fine, because that's what's important. But to rush for a tour or this huge opportunity, you got to write 10 songs in 8 weeks or something, that's just not smart. And even when Century Media came in and play, I was like, man, please guys, let's not rush writing this album. I was like really adamant about that. I was like, I don't want to fucking go in the studio until we're ready, and it's not smart by any means. And there's a lot of bands that have made that mistake where they just rush making an album to get some big tour, and it kind of bites you in the end. Okay, you've got the tour and you made some money and you made a lot of merch sales or whatever, and you did hopefully grab new fans, but you're still stuck with that album. And it's like, oh, that album, I don't want to ever have that in my career. I want to have albums that I'm proud of. And you know what? I can honestly say every album I'm on that I've made with every band, I like every album I've made. So, and that's cool. I don't want to have that album where I'm just like, ugh.
I don't know.
So, and as a musician, as an artist and a songwriter, that's important to me. So, but yeah, we'll probably slowly focus on writing the album, but the timing's got to be right. But not force it.
Oh no. Okay, last question. If you have any messages for the Spirit of Metal viewers.
Thanks for supporting us, and thanks for supporting the Spirit of Metal, and keep the spirit of metal alive, as Chuck would say. Keep it groovy, and keep metal, sacred to the heart. So,
well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, thank you.
Right on.